Hello everyone, welcome to Product Chronicles, Product Stories from Jaco. I'm Joca Torres, here to share with you real product stories from Jaco, showcasing how to tackle product management and digital transformation challenges through stories from my over 30-year career helping companies build successful products and the lessons I've learned along the way. We have reached the last episode of the season of Product Chronicles. In it, I will talk about product culture and digital transformation, how to put technology at the center of your company's strategy. Shall we? So, I will start talking about types of companies. This is a very important concept that I learned after 25 years working in companies that I consider digital. So, what are the digital companies? The companies that they sell software, they sell technology, they exist because of technology. If it was not for the technology, they wouldn't exist. So LocalWeb and Conta Azul, the two companies I worked for. LocalWeb is a web hosting company here in Brazil, the leading web hosting company. Conta Azul is an ERP for small business. And Google, Gmail, AWS, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, all of them, if it were not for the technology, they wouldn't exist. On the other side, we have what we call the traditional companies, like a bank as JP Morgan. Lopes is a real estate company here in Brazil, the biggest real estate company in Brazil, where I led their digital transformation. Chevron, which is fuel, petroleum and gas, McDonald's, American Airlines, Johnson & Johnson. So those companies, they are traditional companies, and they are learning how to use digital to better serve their clients, as well as to have better operations, to optimize their operations. And between them, there is a type of company that we normally think they are tech companies, digital companies, but they are not, because what they sell is not technology. They use technology to sell something that is not technology. So, for instance, Amazon. Amazon is a store. We don't acquire Amazon software. We acquire things through the Amazon software. So it's tricky, but it's important to see this difference. YouTube, Spotify, Netflix, they are entertainment. We subscribe to Netflix or Spotify or YouTube because we want to watch movies, listen to music, watch that series. We don't subscribe, we don't acquire their software. We subscribe to them to watch content, basically, to watch and listen to content. Airbnb, Google Ads, it's classifieds. It's a very traditional business of classifieds. N26, Revolut, Nubank, which is the biggest digital bank here in Brazil. It's a bank. They are all banks. And Nubank is facing the biggest traditional banks here in Brazil. And all of them, a very interesting thing for us to think about is that they because of the technology, because of the digital, they were able to exist without any branches. They don't have branches to attend their clients. They don't need that. They provide their services to their clients, not through branches, but through their apps. It's that's the power of digital, right? And Uber and Lyft, they are transportation. Grubhub and Uber Eats, they are food delivery. Gympass is access to gyms and studios. And Zillow is a real estate, the same way as Lopes, but it was born digital. And why this is very important? Because in the digital companies, when we talk about the product vision and the product strategy, this is more or less the same as the company's vision and the company's strategy, because the company is the product is the company. For instance, at Conta Azul, the ERP for small business that I worked for in Brazil, the name of the company is the same name of the product, and so it's our role as a product manager, as a product leader, is crucial. It defines the future of the company. On the other hand, the born digital traditional companies, we have business and product management working side by side. They are equally important and they are co-responsible for defining and executing the strategy, and they should and must work as a single team. On the other side, we have the traditional companies where the product management is and the technology, the IT team, is seen as an enabler, not a core. Sometimes they are even called the digital area, the digital team. And what happens there is that product management, IT, will have to gain its space, showing that what technology is able to bring to the company. And in order to traditional companies to become more and more digital, they need to understand that the better way to work is not business defining what to do and IT delivering whatever is asked them to be done. Actually, the best way for them is to put technology and business side by side, the same way as board digital traditional companies do. That's how they are able to be so successful. So this is very important to understand the difference between the types of companies. And let's talk now about culture, because culture is very important for companies to be able, and not only the traditional companies, but also born digital traditional companies as well, digital companies. They need to have a strong culture in order to be able to deliver or to increase the chances to deliver successful products. So in order to do that, we need to define what is culture. And culture, sometimes we talk about, oh, this company has this type of culture, this company has this other type of culture. I don't like the culture of this company, but it sounds like a bit nebulous, the concept. But I don't like, people who know me know that I don't like fuzzy concepts, nebulous concepts. So I researched and I found a very interesting definition from a guy named Edgar Schein. He was an MIT professor, and actually he was the person who created the term corporate culture. And he defined corporate culture as a pattern of shared basic premises learned by a group of people when they solved problems either of external adaptation or internal integration. So it's very simple. It's basically the shared principles, the shared behaviors that a group of people decided to use when they face certain situations. So if it happens X, we're going to do A. If it happens Y, we're going to do B. It's that simple. So we are talking about premises, principles, behaviors, reactions, and along my career, I learned that there are 4 principles that I mentioned them as part of the product culture that help companies achieve better results or increase the chances of success of delivering great products. The first one is deliver early and often. Then there is the second one, focus on the problem. The third one, deliver results. And the fourth one is ecosystem mindset. And the first one is the first one because we cannot focus on the problem, deliver results, and have an ecosystem mindset if we are delivering software every month or every other month or every quarter. We need to be delivering software every week, ideally every day, ideally multiple times a day. And why is that? Reid Hoffman, who is one of the founders of LinkedIn, he's also known by the advice he gives to to startups. And one of the most famous advices that he normally give is, if you are not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you've launched too late. And why is that? There are many reasons. One important reason is that while your product is not in front of real users, you don't know exactly if your product is good or not. You need to put your product as fast as possible in front of real users in the context where they will use your product in order to have real feedback. The second reason is it's important to deliver early, because by doing so we avoid having a product full of useless features, basically working for nothing. So if we are constantly presenting our product to users and getting feedback from them, we have more chances to be delivering the right product, the right features. The third one is the return on investment, and it's very simple actually. The faster we are able to put our product in front of customers and have some return from those customers, the faster we will reach the return on investment. And this is important, the less money we'll need to invest from our pockets, and we'll be able to have some revenue to cover for our costs. So the return on investment, the faster we are able to get to some money, the bigger the chances to accelerate the return on investment and have to invest less to get to this situation. So the example that I like to give is a product that we launched at Gympass called Gympass Wellness. Gympass is a marketplace where we have the HRs, and we offer HRs a corporate benefit so they can offer to the employees of the company access to a network of gyms and studios. And one possibility of expansion of this marketplace was, in addition to gyms, to offer access to apps, to workout apps, but not only workout apps, but also meditation apps, nutrition apps, mental health apps. And when we decided to test this idea, there were two main risks that we needed to tackle. The first one is, are there apps interested in joining this marketplace? And the second one, are users willing to subscribe? Because we wanted to offer it as a separate subscription. So what we decided to do, to test, to figure out if there are apps interested in joining the marketplace, we didn't build any app. We just built a slide deck presenting Gympass, presenting our international presence in 14 countries, our more than 2,000 corporate clients, and presenting the idea that we wanted to build and how the pilot would work. And then we presented to 8 apps. From those 8 apps, 6 were interested, and from those 6, 4 decided to join the pilot phase. So good, we have now 4 apps that we can test. And then we went to build the product, but we actually didn't build the product per se. What we decided to do is to be a bit embarrassed, but not with our entire customer base. So not the 2,000 corporate clients, but 10 clients that had around 15,000 employees. So 10 clients is 0.5% of our entire client base. So we didn't get embarrassed in front of our entire client base, but only a small fraction of our client base. And what we did is we sent to their employees, their 15,000 employees, an email marketing talking about this new offer and directing them to a landing page, a very simple landing page, which was actually a form where we explained a little bit more about the offer, presented the apps that we were offering. Now You as physical activity, 8Fit for nutrition and physical activity, and Zen for meditation, and then asked them their name, their email, their corporate email, and the company they worked for, and also their credit card information, because we were testing their willingness to subscribe. And that's it. There were no login area. There was nothing. We give them only a link to activate their account in each of the partners that we had. Very, very simple and fast to implement and to test this idea. So this was the first principle, deliver early and often. Let's talk now about the second principle, focus on the problem. Uri Levine, the co-founder of Waze, he has a phrase. He's very well known also to be giving advice to startups. And one of his most famous advice that actually became a very nice book, it's that we should fall in love with the problem, not the solution. And why is that? This is really important. Sometimes we fall in love with the solution and we lose a lot of time and a lot of money building this solution, while we should be understanding more about the problem and figuring out solution hypotheses. Figuring out those solution hypotheses will enable us to find better solutions that are faster and cheaper to implement. A really nice example that I like to give is when I joined Lopes, the real estate company that I led the digital transformation here in Brazil. They were building a real estate agent app, and they were calling it an MVP. And when I dig and learn more about it, I learned that they were already developing it for 7 months. So it was taking a long time. And then I asked, why are we building this real estate agent app that we cannot call it MVP, because 7 months of product development is not an MVP. MVP is at most 1 month, ideally 1 week or even less. And they explained to me that a lead is a client or a potential client interested in a property. The faster this lead gets to an agent and the agent replies to this lead, the bigger the chances of this connection evolving into a potential negotiation. So they had the idea of building an app with push notification. And then they hired a consultancy, a software development consultancy, and the software development consultancy decided to do a discovery. And doing this product discovery that actually took 5 months to do this product discovery, they discover a lot of things. One of them is that when the lead gets to the agent, the first thing that the agent does is she enters the Lopes database and searches for the client to see if the client's already registered in the database, and if it's not, she registers the client into the database. So search and client registration into the Lopes database become another part of the scope of the app. So the scope got bigger and bigger. And another thing that they realize is that the agent normally searches for other properties, similar properties, because she learned that when sending more than one property, like 4 or 5 properties, to a potential client, it increases the chances of the client getting interested and eventually scheduling a visit to at least one of the properties. So they decided to put that as well into the scope, and you can imagine how big the scope got, and that's why it was taking so long to develop the product. So I explained to them, hey, listen, this is not an MVP. Our main problem to be solved is to place the lead in the agent's hand as fast as possible. So what should have we done? We should have made an MVP which is only the push notification app, only sending the push notification. All the rest, leave for the agent to do whatever way she was used to do. Leave it to her. She already registered the customers into the database. She already searches for additional properties. So she already has a way to do that. And we say, hey, listen, even more, we can even not build an app. We could simply send a notification through SMS. And then everybody got, whoa, that's right, we could. And then talking to engineering team, they were able to build this SMS lead notification like in 10 days. So imagine 10 days, all the agents were receiving notification of a lead, something that they were waiting for a year to get. From 1 year to 10 days. A year to 10 days is way too much. So here we are talking not only about focus on the problem, but having focus on the problem, understanding the problem. So we are able to find a solution hypothesis and eventually finding a solution that can be implemented very fast and deliver value very fast. It's also connected to the first principle of delivering early and often. So we are delivering really, really early when we are able to understand better the problem and find solutions that are faster to implement. The third one is very interesting. It's called deliver results. And why is that? Even this podcast being called Product Chronicles, product is not our main objective. Product is not the end. Product is a means to an end. The features, the screens, the technology, everything, they help us reach our goals and achieve our results. So this is important that we understand, because this is the number one priority of every product development team, to generate results as fast as possible. Results to whom? To our clients who want their problem solved, and to the business who wants to reach their business objectives, their business goals. So I will bring here two examples. One of them, very interesting. Again, when I joined Lopes, the real estate company here in Brazil, to lead their digital transformation, their team, their tech team, more than half of them was third party, was consultancy companies. I've never worked in a situation like that, because I prefer to have internal team, because they are more aligned with the company culture, they are more aligned with the company objectives. And then I went to look into the numbers, and I realized that the cost per person from the third party and the cost per person of the internal team was more or less the same, even the internal team being a little bit cheaper. So I went to the board and said to them, hey, listen, I've never worked in a situation like this. I prefer to work with the internal team. Is that okay that I make the change? The cost will not increase, actually can even decrease a little bit. Is that okay that I made the change? And they said to me, hey, listen, you are the expert. We hired you because of your expertise, and you are even telling us that it will not even cost more. So go ahead, do it. And then we started to do that. I entered the company in August 2020. I presented this in September, October 2020 to the board, and they approved. And starting November, we started to hire internal people. So we were hiring people and disconnecting the third parties, and we were able to finish disconnecting the third parties by the end of the second quarter of 2021. By the beginning, July of 2021, we were working with a full internal team, no third parties. And one thing that is really interesting is that one of the main objectives of the digital transformation at Lopes is to generate more and more leads and more sales from the digital environment. Because, whenever we go to search for a property, the first thing that we do is to go online. And at Lopes, around 20% of the sales came from online. So very low number, and they wanted to increase this. And this was the objectives. The objective since 2019. 2019, they started this plan of the digital transformation, and this was always the objective of the Lopez Labs. They called Lopez Labs the digital team. And this was always the main objective of this team. But this team was working on projects. They were working on the project of the real estate agent app. They were working on another project to rebuild the web portal, the portal where users search for properties. They were also rebuilding the CRM used by agents and franchise owners. So they were focusing on projects. And when I joined, I tried to make this change of mindset from project to product to results, to deliver results. And even though I was forcing this mindset, one very interesting thing happened. I have a chart where I have the change between third party to internal people. And when I crossed this chart with the chart of the number of digital leads generated through the digital environment, and consequently sales generated through the digital environment, it's so interesting to see, because I was shocked by what I saw, because the number of leads, they were not increasing while we had the third party working on projects. They working on the projects that I just mentioned. So while they were working on projects, I couldn't change the mindset. We were unable to generate more leads from the digital environment, even though this being a very well-known objective of the team. This number only increased when I had no third parties and only internal team. And during the more than 12 months that the third parties were here, the number didn't move at all. And as soon as they left the company and we had only internal team, this number quadrupled in 12 months, multiplied by 4 in 12 months. It's really impressive. And why this happened? Because we have clearly distinct ways of working. One way of working is what I call project team, where the stakeholder decides what to do. The team implements what is asked. It's that simple. It's normally the business area, which can be someone from the sales, the marketing department, the client success, C-level, the founder. And so business defines and IT implements. It's project oriented. On the product team, on the other hand, I also like to call them the results team. The team is given a problem to solve and an outcome to achieve, and the team has complete autonomy to decide how to solve this problem. It's a completely different way of working. The project team is also known as delivery team, as solution implementer team, as project delivery team, while the product team is also known as the problem solver team, the results team. So different names, but the thing to watch for is the way that they work, because it's completely different. While the project team, the feature team, they work as based on increments, so they know exactly what they want to build at the end, so they build it block by block, and they will only deliver anything valuable at the end. The product team or the results team, they know the outcome they need to achieve. They know the results they need to generate, and they build things in order to get there, and they are able to generate some results in the way, and they are able to generate some learnings during the way as well. So it's a very different approach. The project manager role in a feature team, in a project team, is project management. So very inward oriented. So very focused on guaranteeing that the team will deliver what was asked by the time the date promised. On the other side, in a product team, in a results team, the role of the product manager is way more complex. She needs to understand the customer, their problems, their needs, help the team to identify and test and build potential solutions for those problems in connection with the company goals, with connection to the company objectives that the company wants to achieve with the product. So it's harder. It's more difficult than just project management, and we need to understand that. The prioritization in a project team is done by committee, normally using the famous hypo technique. Highest paid person's opinion is the one that goes first. So very very oriented to who more political, so to speak, to who is the boss. On the product team, on the other side, we have the prioritization done by the product manager, and she does that based on the principle of generating results as fast as possible. Results for the user, solving the problem of the user, and results for the company that owns the product and invests in building the product. So the main deliverable of a project team is features, products, apps, sites, algorithms, while a product team, what they deliver are results connected to the company's objectives by solving the customer problems as fast as possible. And what we are funding when we have a project team is a predefined solution. And that's why we are able to outsource, to contract a third party, an outsourcing company, outsourcing software development company to build this solution, because we have a predefined solution and it's just give to them and they will build it as we defined. On the other hand, and that's why we are not able to outsource, in a product team, we are funding a team to solve customer problems. It's different. It solves customer problems while reaching the company goals. It's a different way of working. So we can see clearly this difference between the project team or the feature team and the product team. While the project team or the feature team deliver projects, and most of the times those projects are not connected to the main result that we need to deliver, the product team, they deliver results. So they are focusing on delivering results. The second example is the budget of the Lopez Labs, because even being very focused on the customer, on the result, on delivering fast, delivering early, we were still asked to deliver features by the board. And why is that? They raised a lot of money to invest in the digital transformation, and they were spending each month more and more money with the outsourcing companies, the software development outsourcing companies. And if we put ourselves in their shoes, think. Well, we are investing a lot of money in this team, in this teams to build the software, and what do they build us? They build us software. They build the products. They are building the app for the real estate agent. They build a new portal. They build a new CRM. So what is the return on investment? We are investing a lot of money. What is the return on investment? It's a feature, is a product, is an app. It's very natural to think this way. And I said, yeah, it does make sense. It's completely logic to think that way. However, this won't work because we deliver feature not to just deliver feature. We deliver features, we deliver products, we deliver apps in order to achieve results, to generate results. So let me make a proposal. Let's build the 2021 budget for the Lopez Labs area as a BU, as a business unit, not only as a cost center, but as a business unit with the following premises. The first one is we will stabilize the cost, so the cost won't increase anymore. We will start to measure the revenue, and eventually we want to reach a revenue above our costs, so we are able to break even, we are able to pay for ourselves, right? So that's what I built with my team at Lopez Labs. We built a budget where the costs were more or less constant every month during 2021. Then we will start to measure the revenue, and the revenue would grow month over month to a point that will be bigger than the costs by Q4 of 2021. So the result, which is the difference between revenue and costs, will be negative in the beginning of the year, Q1, Q2, Q3, but by Q4 it will be positive because we will have reached the break even. So I presented this to the board, and the board say, okay, I like this, and I will start to ask you about this every month. And okay, let's do it. So that's how we ran during 2021. We were able to keep the revenue above the budget during almost all of the year. So that was a good thing to achieve. The cost, we were able to maintain it quite stable during the year as well as in the budget. So it was actually a good thing as well. And by doing so, having the cost in line with budget and the revenue above budget, we were able to achieve break even sooner than we thought. We were able to achieve break even in Q2, in May, June of 2021. And we were able to keep break even, this break even during the whole year. So we were able to advance the result that we forecasted. So it was a very, very nice result. And one thing that is very important is that we built this budget together with the whole Lopez Labs, the digital team, the digital leadership team, and every month we had an all hands meeting with the entire team, 120 people, and we had an all hands meeting with all of them. And in all of those all hands meetings, we talked about results, the results that we are generating. If in a month we were unable to go as well as in the previous months, we discussed with the team what can we do to improve this result and then be better in the next month. So this is really, really important. And so this was the third principle, deliver results. And now let's talk about the fourth principle, the ecosystem mindset, which means that we need to take decisions, to make decisions that create value for all of the actors of a platform. So at Gympass, we had gyms, we had the companies, our clients, and we had the employees of our clients. So we had three main actors of our platform, of our marketplace. And during the pandemic, this principle, this corporate value was very, very important for us. So you can imagine, during the pandemic, the companies started to call us saying, hey, listen, Gympass, my employees are locked down at their homes, the gyms are closed, I don't believe it makes sense to have this corporate benefit anymore. I mean, Gympass was having a very, very tough time back then. You can imagine that the service didn't make any sense at all during the at least the beginning, the initial months of the pandemic. So that was a very, very critical moment for us. But luckily, we delivered early Gympass Wellness, and this was a huge retention tool for us. We were able to deliver something that made sense for HRs to offer to the employees, even if the employees were locked down at their homes, because it has physical activity to be done at home. And not only that, but mindfulness apps to help them to cope with that difficult situation, nutrition app, and even mental health apps. So it was a very, very important offer. And you can imagine the gyms. The gyms were suffering as well because they had to stay closed, so they were not receiving visits from their regular clients, not even their Gympass clients. And we at Gympass could think, hey, I understand, but gyms are a cost for us, and we are in a difficult moment. We leave them do whatever they need to do, and we focus on saving our business. But this is not what we did. Having this ecosystem mindset make us think that the pandemic will eventually end, as all crises eventually end, and we would need the gyms when the pandemic end. And we decided to help the gyms by using the booking system. We had a booking system where people could book classes in their preferred gym, and we called the gyms and said, "Hey, listen, we have now a new field here in the booking system. Is the URL for live transmission, and then you can transmit live a class. You call your professors and ask them to transmit live a class, and we're gonna pay you for the number of users that register for your live classes." And that was a way that we created what we call the Gympass live classes, and this was able to save many gyms from bankruptcy. So it was a very, very important thing to deliver very fast. Again, delivering early, and this all based on the ecosystem mindset. So we talked a lot about product culture, and let me talk a little bit about the difference and how to connect the agile culture with the product culture. The agile culture, I believe all of you know that the Agile Manifesto, where they say that we are uncovering better ways of delivering software. And they have the four principles, which are individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Working software is more important than comprehensive documentation. Customer collaboration is more important than contract negotiation. And responding to change over following a plan. However, one important thing to note about the Agile Manifesto, which was created in 2001, is that it was created by 17 people that worked for outsourced software development companies. So that's why they were uncovering better ways of developing software. Their focus was on better ways of developing software. Better ways means they were focusing on the process of developing software and making this process better. When we say we are uncovering better ways of developing software, we are focusing on the process. If we change the place of the word better in this phrase, as I will do now, you see how big is the difference. If they said instead, we are uncovering ways of developing better software. You see, it's a small difference, but it's really, really important, because when we say we are uncovering better ways of developing software, we are focusing on the process of developing software. When we say we are uncovering ways of developing better software, we are putting the focus on the result of the process, which is the product, which is the focus of product management. So this is important for us to understand, because this is something that happened to me a few times when I started to work with a company, and they were in this process of digital transformation. They said, "Oh, we are sort of advanced in our digital transformation because, we use Scrum, we have sprints, we do dailies, we do retrospectives, we do sprint planning." We know we have MVPs, even though it takes 1 year, but we make an MVP. We have tribes, we have squads, we have chapters. All the buzzwords of the methodologies and frameworks. But all of this is nothing if we don't have the agile culture. And the agile culture, as we just discussed it, talking about individuals' interactions being more important than process and tools, working software being more important than the documentation, customer collaboration being more important than contract negotiation, and responding to change being more important than following the plan. So this is very, very important. But when we talk about agile culture, we are still focusing on the process of software development, not the result of software development, which is the product. So in order to really have a culture of product development, of being able to really have a successful digital transformation, we need to have a digital product culture. And those four principles that I just mentioned: deliver early and often, focus on the problem, deliver results, and ecosystem mindset. The digital maturity grows as we go up, and not only talk about methodologies and frameworks, not only talk about agile, but we talk about product culture. Product culture is essential for us to have digital maturity, and for us to increase the chances of delivering valuable products that can generate good results, both to the user, solving their problems, as well as to the company, generating the results that the company expects from the product. So that's what I wanted to bring to you in this last episode of this first season. We just talked about very important concepts, principles, and tools about product culture and digital transformation, full of examples. So we saw type of companies, we saw what is culture, we saw the four principles: deliver early and often, and the example of Gympass Wellness, focus on the problem, and the example from the app for real estate agents at Lopes, the real estate company that I worked for. Deliver results are from two examples from from Lopes as well. The outsourced team versus internal team, the project team versus product team, and also the Lopes Labs budget and the focus on delivering results, and the ecosystem mindset, where I told the story of the pandemic and Gympass, and how Gympass Wellness was critical for us, and not only that, how we created a new product, the Gympass Live Classes, to help gyms to go through the pandemic. And we ended up talking about the concept of digital maturity. And in order for a company to increase its digital maturity, it needs not just the frameworks and methodologies, it needs the agile culture, but not only that, also the product culture. If you want to delve deeper into this topic, I recommend my latest book called Product Culture and Digital Transformation, released in late 2023 and in English in early 2024, and it is available at LeanPub. You go to LeanPub website and search Product Culture and Digital Transformation. You're going to find there. And for the second season of Product Chronicles, I would love to know what would you like to hear. What type of topics you want me to discuss? What questions do you have? Please comment on Jaco's social media so we can build this second season with your input. And remember to follow the podcast, share it with your network, and send us your questions through Jocko's social media. And thanks for listening. Stay tuned for our next episode and the next season of Product Chronicles, Product Stories from Jocko.